Hello students, we will move on to the chapter 2 of Internet Basics and HTML, that is Internet Tools. In Internet Tools, the first we have is web browser. So you all know what a web browser is. It is nothing but a software application which provides a graphical user interface so that the user can navigate the internet easily by clicking on the icons or the menus that are displayed, and instead of learning difficult keyboard commands you can just click on the icons that is present and we can just search or do whatever we need to be done in the browser. So what are the features of this browser? So mainly it handles requests for HTML files, interprets links and deals with the embedded images, audio images and video. So we know what we actually use or actually do on a web browser, right? To handle the files or whatever you are seeing or the files you are accessing, that is handled by the HTML files or the files that are present in this like you watch on a web browser. It's nothing but HTML files, and it can link into some of the links, and it deals with the images, audio, video, all those things we have seen on a browser. It has a web history, right? Whatever you have searched so far will be stored as a history, like you can go back there and retrieve whatever you have searched for. Next is it has a collection of pages. It can be like the websites that you have visited, or that websites that you have been bookmarked. So all these are nothing but a collection of pages. It has rows of buttons. What they do, they give you the options whatever you want to perform for browsing the internet conveniently, like it could be a new tab button or a file button or search a box, whatever it is, you can just do it in the browser. And it supports email program. You all know what an email is, right? So if we have to want to search an email, or you want to open your email ID, and you want to see what are the mails you have got, you need to have an browser. So the standards that I've been using in the normal web browser are HTML, HTTP, JavaScript and Unicode. Our browsers usually support three types of multimedia. That is, first one is by giving the native support. Native support usually is for the picture files that we have. And next is the plugins. It's mainly like you might have seen some of the PDF files that when you open them they ask for the permissions. So those are the plugins it is actually asking for. And even sometimes the videos, it asks for a permission, and sometimes it is attached in the browser itself and you can easily watch the videos. And next is the helper programs that are actually not related to the web browser in any form, but sometimes it can get the applications in your system and run the programs that is there in the system. Next is the Internet Explorer environment. So what are these, like the browser actually contains? And for the browser we mainly taken here the example of Internet Explorer. However, Google Chrome is a very common now, but the working is somewhat similar and there might be slight differences, but the main theme or the working remains the same. So the first we have here is the title bar, which has a title and minimize, maximize and close buttons. Next we have the file menu, and next we have backward and forward buttons, stop button, refresh button and the search box, and we have the address box. So this we call it as a menu bar, and here we get at the end we get the status of the internet, so we call it as a status bar. And this is the main part where the information will be displayed. So this is a little newer version of this. So we have the tabs, or the new tabs can be clicked here and we can search. And this is the favorites bar, that is whatever the important websites that is your favorite, you have pinned it to the browser. So these are the things that a web browser usually contains, and you are already familiar with this. Next, let us see about electronic mail. How is an electronic mail address structure done, or how is it composed of? You all know how a email looks like, right? Email ID especially. See, it has a username and an at the rate symbol and the domain name, right? For example, let us say your name at yahoo.com. So Yahoo is the domain name, .com is again the type of that Yahoo is, like it may be a company, or sometimes it is even the name of the country. For example, yahoo.co.in, right? Company in India, it represents like that. So that is the email address structure that we have. Next is, once you have an email, how will you check the email, right? You know, when you have an email ID, you need to have a password also. So you know how actually it works, because you have all created your email IDs, right? Yeah. So you have the email address and a password. When you put both the things and sign in, you can go to the your inbox. So the inbox contains all the new mails present and also the mails that you have already seen. Then what we can do, either we can read the message again, and we can either forward it, or we can just delete it, or you can also reply to that exact mail, right? So these are the options that the mail provides us. So you want to send a mail, what we do, there are two options. One thing is you are replying to the previous mail that has come, or you are actually composing the mail. So how do we compose a mail? There is a compose button in your Gmail, all right? Gmail or Yahoo Mail, whatever the mail you are using, you have a compose button in there. So when you press that, what do you get? You get compose, that menu will open, or the window will open. What we have to do, you have to first type the address to whom you are typing it, right? For whom you are typing the mail. So that will be the email address of a recipient. Then you will have something written as CC and BCC. So what is this CC? CC is nothing but a carbon copy. That is, you are typing the same mail address to many people, and every people who receive that mail can know to whom you have sent the mails other than that person who has received, right? Next is BCC, that is blind carbon copy. You are actually restricting the other mails that has been sent. You are sent, the two actions are same, but the difference is, in BCC you cannot know to whom else you have sent the messages, right? The messages you have sent to other addresses, those addresses will not be seen to the each recipient. So that is BCC. Next, you have to write a subject. It's advised that you put a subject to the mail that you send in a proper way. We usually, what we do, we just simply put a hi, or we simply just put something that is not relevant. But it is always advised that you put a exact subject that you are using, because mails are kept and you can actually refer in the future. So when you refer, you don't know what actually the mail is about, so you need to search each and every mail. But if the subject is seen, you can know what the mail is actually about. So subjects are better you mention it properly. Then attach files. So attaching files is one more thing, that is the files that are present in your system can be attached to the mail and sent to the recipient. So there will be a jump in like button at the end of your mail, or it can even be the top. So usually when you click that, all the files that you're in the system can be accessed through that, right? It will give a menu and options like in what drive it is, in what folder it is. You will have to browse, and you just put out to put insert, right? Then it will be seen on your mail, and you can just send that mail. Next, email attachments. So what are these email attachment? As I told you, how you are actually attaching the files. So in this you can actually think of two things. That is, once when you get the email, attached mails. So attached mails will have one attached file. It can be PDF, image, video, whatever it is, whatever the multimedia that is available can be attached. Of course there are size limits, so but you can attach almost any kind of file. Then what you do, if you want to see that, there are two options again available. One is either it is in the view mode, or you can just download the attachment and view, right? So there is option in the attachment itself. On the attachment itself you can see what to do. So if you want to download, you can download, or if you want to view, just can view the attachment. That is if you are receiving the mail. And if you're sending the mail, again as I told you, there is a attach button. You press that, you get the file whatever you need to attach, and you can send the mail to the recipient you want. Now, when we have talked so much about email, so how does it actually work? You know, the technical part of it. We know what type the address of the recipient, we press the send button, it actually goes to the recipient and he can see the message. But how it technically happens? See, you send the mail through your system, right? From your system it goes to the internet, and in the internet it searches for the address of the recipient, like in the what domain it is. So while transferring from your system to the internet, it uses SMTP, that is simple mail transfer protocol. And by that, when it searches in the SMTP, it searches for the domain name, that is it is the domain address is sent to the DNS servers, and in DNS servers it finds the address. If at all the recipient account is in the same as your account, that is, you can say the address is same, address in the sense the domain name is same, then the same domain is used and it goes to the mail center, and the receiver can receive the uh, message. But if at all the domain name is different in the sense, for example, you work in a Gmail and your friend has an Yahoo mail. So what happens, from your system it goes to the server using SMTP, and from the SMTP it goes to DNS and finds that the address is different, that is, it is not a Gmail but a Yahoo mail. So it goes to the Yahoo server, and in the Yahoo server it is actually what it does, it has a POP or a IMAP, that is a post office protocol and a internet mail access protocol. So what happens, that is sent to the Yahoo servers. From Yahoo servers it is sent to the system, the recipient's system. So from there he can actually access the mail whatever you have sent. So this is the working of an email. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this? You know, sending mail is very fast, right? Once you send it, it is just received like that in the next end. That it could be even in this different continent, or even if it is the next door, the speed would be same rather than some delays in the sending of the mail. But even though the speed is very fast and the speed is high, you can get the mail in just in the next moment, but what happens, the receiver, he may not read the message. Nowadays of course we have notifications for that, and the recipient can see it as soon as the mail comes, but he may not see. If he does not see the message, until then you cannot consider it as reached him. Even though it has reached his system, he may not see the message. So again, it is almost free of cost, like you are only paying for the internet and you're not paying actually for that mail service, right? It is almost free of cost. But the thing is, there may be, even though it is a free of cost, the person should be online to get the message, one thing. But there may be advertisements in the mail, right? Nowadays you have seen the advertisements on the top of your inboxes. There will be some of the ads, so that will be there. So otherwise it's like a kind of free itself. You don't have to pay, literally you don't have to pay money for that. Then multiple copies can be sent with the ease is an advantage, right? You know, at a time you can send it to 100, 200, maybe even 1000 people, right? So that is multiple copies can be sent with very easy. But even though you're sending it with for so many people, it has the networks, right? And it has to pass through the networks, and in the networks there could be interceptions. That is, it is possible to either get your message, or your message can just be stopped there, or it can be halted for some time, then it could be sent. So these are some of the disadvantages. Another advantage is multimedia can be attached. See, it's not just the pictures or something you can send. You can also send the audio messages, video messages, and the file format can be anything, literally anything. So it is multimedia can be attached. Another disadvantage is that, but even if there is a small error in the address, it could, especially spelling, right? Even if there is a small mistake, the message will not be sent. There will be if a failure in the network happens, your message will not be sent. So these are the disadvantages of your email. So this completes that chapter of internet tools, a very small chapter of giving you a brief insight how you work on the internet, especially the internet browser or the internet explorer. And nowadays, instead of internet explorer, we have, as I told you, Google Chrome or Firefox, or that is for Mozilla Firefox or Opera. There are so many other browsers available. So all these web browsers work on the almost the similar type, only the buttons will be present here and there in different positions. That is all. Rest of the thing is same. Thank you.